Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Animal Wisdom Tarot by somebody Brunk. Dawn Brunk. I think it's Brunk. There's her spelling. That way, if you like this, I feel like this is a fairly new deck, if I'm correct. I'm not sure how long I've had it. But if you end up liking it, there's that information. Or if you want to find that artist and see what else they've been working on, search it down that way. And the Supportive Oracle Cards, the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Okay. What do we have for Pisces? Ooh, I like that. It's funny because, they're general reads. Doesn't mean it's going to hit for me, even though I'm a Pisces too. But I don't know. I kind of like this. It seems like you're getting set up for something good here. Let's see how this goes. Oh, these are good cards. I'm excited. It's going to be one of those where I hope it's for me too. I like that card too. Let's see why when we get there. We got a couple cards popping out here. All right, there might be a reason here. Okay, hold on. Starting off, because I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself and I'm just getting sucked into the cards here. This is how you're starting off. Eagle, monkey, and harvest. So it's very interesting because this reading is definitely valid for whoever when you come to it, whenever you feel the need to get pulled towards it. You got harvest here, but it's kind of that time of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere where we're coming into the last harvest for a lot of people. An eagle, the guardian of feathers. And then you got monkey, the two of fossils. Now, I'm getting there's a really strong thought you have coming forward. It's almost divinely inspired. And when I'm getting the monkey coming in, it's well, are we going to do something with this or are we not? When it first comes in, it's kind of you got harvest. It's almost like you're ending something. So, something is ending. But it's not bad. It's kind of it's almost kind of it's the end of the season type feel. That type of ending with harvest, kind of at this time of year, that's kind of done. It's almost for where I am, there's no more really growing much outside. It's not really going to happen. So it's kind of coming to an end, if not over. I think we got mums that still happen, but still. It's just kind of oh, okay, this cycle's ending. It's not a bad ending. It's just kind of yeah, it was going to happen. You seem to be right on point. Yeah, that was going to happen. That's not bad. Whether you liked it or not is irrelevant. You knew it was going to slow down and stop at some point. It's just how the cycle goes. You got eagle, kind of you have a really divinely inspired interest, something you're I want to do that. But the two of pentacles here with the monkey is you got to choose to make it happen. And that's how this is starting off. Whatever it is, whatever you're really being divinely inspired to do, in that moment, it's best to even if it's at this point of the reading, because I know this happens for a lot of people, you're well, that moment already passed. This might be your reset button to try again, kind of if you could remember what that was, this very divinely inspired idea. If you're yeah, I had that a couple months ago, but now you're yeah, but I remember that. You still remember it. It's still your moment to still write that information down. And just to start off, what would be an easy way to make that happen? How much do you have to do everything all at once? Or could you do a little bit every day, or maybe just a little bit every week? Just set a time aside every week just to work a little bit on it and a little bit on it, because it literally only takes that much effort. Maybe not even 10, 15 minutes once a week might get you started, and then all of a sudden the inspiration will kick in, and it'll be a little bit more here and there and a little bit more here and there. This could start something going forward. But the Two of Pentacles here, this is the Two of Pentacles. The monkey with the Two of Fossils, I'm feeling Pentacles. I'm really getting this is coming together in the sense of you have to choose to make it happen. You have to bring it into existence. Now the thing is, there is support out there for you, but you have to be the one who sets the tone. You don't have to lead the whole way, but you got to get that idea together, form it correctly, and then look at it how could this be a little bit every week and still start to become something. It may take a few months to really take shape, but if it's more enjoyable to you to do a little bit every week, and that's what you want, then that's what you want. That's fine. If you want to do more than that, then that's your business. You got to set it up to what you think is correct and what you think is doable and sustainable. And you know what your pattern is. We all have different ones, especially as Pisces. Some of us some of us we do less, we get further. Like if we do less a week, but we cut it up like that, a really big goal we have, we tend to get farther. Other Pisces, they do it differently. So it's all about your personal rhythm. Keep that in mind. But you do have support here. You just got to define it. Make sure you have it defined. And when you define it, and if you start sharing that with other people, you may be surprised the support you get. You might want to do this a little bit once a week. Every week, you just want to do it for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. You mention it to somebody else. They think it's really cool too. That might be your next step forward because you got success and wisdom. Somebody else may hear that and be like, oh, when are you doing that? Actually, I kind of want to do that too. Like, whatever it is, they're like, oh, this, and that. I would love to be a part of that. Could I come over and hang out with you when you do it? Maybe I could help. This might be where you end up doing something for a couple hours, but you might be learning or developing a situation, and you having this person with you might just excite you to keep going and do more. They're helping you with success. Somebody else is coming forward and helping you with this success. Now, I'm noticing in the environment you also have the Five of Shells, which is the Five of Cups, and the Whale, which is the World card coming in. Now, I'm pretty sure shells are water, but it is jellyfish, which is telling me it's something very beautiful, but you got to be careful not to get stung. The Five of Cups is usually one of those things where you got to look at it just right. You got to look at the positive here and not the negative. You got to see the good going up and not the bad going down. So you got to be careful with the jellyfish. Whoever you're pulling into this, you got to choose carefully, and you got to make sure that you regulate how much time you're good with them. Like for some people, especially for Pisces, if you're around somebody too much, they can become draining. But if you can segregate it out to only certain times of the week, it might be something you can easily handle. This could easily become overburdened. So be careful and try to do your best to keep that regulated. I'm getting, with the Whale, a whole new section is coming in. The Whale is like the World card in this. And I'm noticing this moon type feel over here, which I don't think it's supposed to be a moon, but that's how it feels to me. It's kind of like, you may not see it coming forward, but whoever you're adding to, if you can regulate it correctly and not get overwhelmed by them and they don't take up too much of your energy, a lot of joy can come out of this. But you got to keep an eye on it and keep the joy in focus. Kind of make sure you segregate out your time correctly. So you're not overwhelmed or feeling like it's just overwhelming you or draining you. Know your boundaries. Keep your boundaries strong. Keep your boundaries strong. I got energy coming in here, but I'm feeling like it's energy it's like X amount of energy. How do I explain this? Because it's not like you're limited, but it's just kind of like maybe you could do an hour, maybe 2 hours once a week with this person, but they might want to do more, and that might overwhelm you. That after a while, if it goes from fun to more of a chore, and you start to dread it, that's going to damage this situation. You don't want that to happen. That's why I keep saying you got to regulate and keep it under control. Make sure you hold your boundaries and keep your boundaries strong. Whatever way you got to do to let them know, I can only do this once a week and only in this time frame, and just keep it there. And if they want to do other things with other people, let them do other things with other people. That's fine. Maybe they'll bring something extra back for you. I don't think they're going to leave you on your own because of that. Now, there's a balance here. If I can pick these up. You got the Nurturer of Fossils, and the Nine of Feathers, and the Travel card here. When I feel travel, this is going to kind of start taking a life of its own. You just got to make sure you hold your boundaries. If somebody else wants to go a lot faster with the situation, let them. Don't try to keep up with that, because I'm telling you, it's gonna start to become a chore for you. That's not going to be good. When I get the Nurturer of Fossils, they say pig. The pig is very smart, but a lot of times when I think of pig too, other people have this stereotype or this, they just look at pig in a negative energy, almost like it's a dirty, nasty, smelly animal, which is not always the case. Some people love pigs. Some people think they're very nurturing themselves and they're very beautiful animals. So it's kind of like, if somebody looks at you in a negative light or gives you a hard time because you're holding your boundaries, let them. That's fine. Just don't move your boundaries, because I'm telling you, if you do, you're going to get that Nine of Feathers, which is crow. The crow energy is kind of like you need to stand on your own sometimes. And if somebody doesn't like what you're doing, you got to stand in your own energy, and you got to be strong in that. There may be a lot of wonder or kind of nervousness, kind of oh, I don't know, and they're not liking me because of this. but it's also kind of like you got to hold strong. You hold strong if you hold to your own strength. The Nine of Feathers is the Knight of Swords. That's not usually the Nine of Swords energy. The Knight of Swords is feeling, denial or sadness or, depression. But with the Crow energy there, I'm really feeling this can be a moment of strength. If you just let somebody look at you a little weird, if they give you a little hard time, just walk away from it. Don't be bullied into something and doing more than you actually want. It is going to take a strong movement forward, and it can still be good for you. Just like if somebody has their little comments, let them have their little comments. Just be like, I got other things I got to do. I don't want to do it that much every week. I just want 2 hours, and that's it. That's my limit. Hold to it. You got to hold to it, or it's going to become more of a chore, and that's not good. You get the Nurturer of Feathers coming in and the Seeker of Feathers. More information is also coming forward. That's another reason I feel like we don't want to go crazy with this just yet. If you're feeling 2 hours is enough, keep it at that. I know that's an analogy, but more information is coming, and when you get more information, you may look back and you may be like, all that work we did, and now we want to change direction. That's not okay. Like, doing a lot of work and then throwing something away is not good, because they get the Eight of Shells and the Nurturer. The Eight of Shells, that's usually like that's like the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away from stuff, but there might be a change in the road, like a fork in the road or a change in how things are done. Some of the stuff that gets done up to a certain point is going to get kind of abandoned, and it's going to go a different way, because it's kind of like we've been doing it this way, and it's better to do it this other way. That's going to get us more towards where we want to go. It's kind of like we've been going east all this time, but we really kind of want to, like, we're going east, but we want to go south. So, but we want to go southwest a little bit, so we got to backtrack a little bit. It's kind of like we overshot a little bit. We have to go down and back a little bit. It's kind of like you're going to lose out a little bit. So it's kind of another reason, if you're feeling like 2 hours is enough, you won't get too far down that road and put in too much extra energy that's just going to get abandoned, because that's not good. And we don't want you to get tired out anyway, but getting tired out and realize it was a waste of effort, it's going to be it's not going to be good. Because I get prosperities coming in by changing direction. It's not a total loss, but it's kind of like we have to walk away from something we were doing and kind of just redirect where we're going to get something better out of this. You're going to be on board with this, because I feel like this is going to evolve in a way that you like it. But again, this is going to be like more standing towards your credit, kind of like, yeah, I knew I didn't want to do more than 2 hours at a time. I knew that wasn't right for me, and now I'm glad I didn't, because now that we've earned or learned this new information, we're going in a different direction, there's less I have to like throw away, or less that I'm not going to get benefit from. This is really good, because it's going to come forward on its own time. I do get the Nurturer of Feathers with the magical powers for you is telling me the information seems to come towards you, and you're the one who seems to put it together. You're not the only one who gathers the information, but it seems to be you're the one who kind of connects the dots. Like, wait a minute, this, that, and that. We've been doing it this way, but if we look at everything we just got, look at this. We could do it this way, and look how that changes the whole situation. And I feel like you're the one who's connecting the dots, too. When I'm getting the Nurturer of Feathers for you, you're talking something out, and you're saying, hey, you know how we keep doing it this way? Well, the information you told me, the information that person told me over there, I was thinking about that, and if we do it this other way and go this other direction, I think we'll get a much better result. And then there's a little trial and error with that, and then you go a different direction. Keep that in mind. Keep that very much in mind. Because I'm getting like there's good energy coming in, knowledge, courage to change path, courage to change direction, to go a better way, to get more out of this in the long run. Because it is better for you in the long run. The other person or other people seem to be following you with the Seeker of Feathers here. Because I feel like they're going along with it. They're like, okay, you make sense. It seems to be your idea to begin with anyway, but when you get more information and you're like, oh, we were going this way, but we should be down over here. So we got to backtrack a little and go south now. And they're like, yeah, oh yeah, we see how that's better. We see how that's going to work out better. Okay. So that's why you want to keep your energy strong. You want to like, don't overdo it. Keep it, keep those boundaries strong. And then when the time comes where you need to change direction, you're not going to have as much wasted time or wasted effort in that. I'm also getting, though, if you overdo it, you're just going to start to look at it like a chore. And that's not good either, because that's going to like really diminish your connection to this. It's going to damage your connection. Because if you start looking at this and dreading it, and like, oh, I don't want to do it, it's going to naturally damage your flow of energy, and it's not going to flow as easily. You're not going to be as creative and find it as easy to get involved with it, as opposed to if you're just liking it and going into it. It's going to just flow so much easier and feel so much better. Okay, I think I'm going to start over talking this if I don't shut it down. So I'm going to shut it down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.